Hey guys, Shane here with another movement clip at CrossFit HF. Alright guys, so one of our next mobility pieces is for the glute. Okay, so improving this glute flexibility is super important. If a glute is super tight, we can get things like lower back pain, knee pain, and also it doesn't make for a real easy time getting into the bottom of your squat position. So the more flexible those glutes, the deeper you can get into that squat. One of the exercises that we've chosen to show you today is what would you call it, a 90-degree hip stretch. Yep. So Adam's going to pop his leg up on top of the box. And the idea here, guys, is to keep the knee down and supported. Now, some people are going to find that they can't even do this. That's where they'll end range, yeah? So instead of just keeping stress on the outside of this knee, roll up a towel or get a foam roller just to secure that knee. The idea is we're flooding it full of stability, and you're giving a little bit more feedback for the knee rather than stretching out the capsule and the knee or the knee joint itself. So if you can get the range, push it all the way down. If not, something to support it. From this position, Adam is going to keep a nice tall chest. Remember, sternum and belly button stays still. And from there, from the hip, he's going to pivot forward to get more tension or load up that glute, wind it up. He can breathe into the stretch. When he finds tension without losing his spinal alignment, he holds that position for a little bit. Normally about 60 seconds is normally where we go. I like to do longer stretching at the end of my training and just shorter, quicker changes at the start of my training. So it depends on when you're doing this as to how long you're going to do it for. How many days a week?
I do it every time I'm going to squat.
Every single time. It's the idea. Cool. All right, guys, some of the common faults that we see as trainers is that our hips aren't flat or facing forward, They tend to kick off, so you're losing the ability to keep your body straight, centered, and stretched well. So Adam's going to show us what we see in a normal common fault. Knee goes way out rather than front on. So you can see the difference here, that angle there. It does reduce the intensity of the stretch. So if you're doing it because it's too tight, not necessarily so bad. However, we do want to get this knee further over, and that way we're going to line up our pelvis. Our pelvis is now loaded, and our glute then is loaded. Then we load into the stretch rather than kicking out. If you kick it out, you don't feel it as much. Okay, the other thing we see as a common fault is rounding of the spine in this stretch. So if I jump on here in the end of the box, I can show you what that looks like. Here, instead of pivoting with a nice straight knee position, they start to tuck their backs. Okay, this position is not flat, it looks terrible. So ideally, we're just pivoting forward through that glute with a nice straight focused spine. Any other faults that you see, Adam?
No, that's it. They're the big ones.
One of the other mobility pieces that we want to go through is helping you improve the bottom position of your squat. So at full range, when your butt is close to your calf, how do we help with that position? One of the ways that we can do that is by getting a box about hip height, okay, where you're going to be able to see that you can get full range. Adam will pop his foot up on top of that box. He will replicate the squat position. So as best as Adam can. So he's going to hold his foot nice and tight. He can hold there, push the knee out, and start to drop the pelvis down and through towards the box. Now this is a deep, deep squat, and you'll feel this on one side. Obviously it's a little harder if we did both legs, but you want to work on one side at a time. Anything to add?
Just move around in there, get comfortable and open everything up. Just hit some corners.
Finding those spots that are splashier than others is where you need to work. You don't need to spend time in a position that doesn't feel tight. Find a tight position, work that position for longer, and then progress that way.
And if this causes too much pain through the knee, back out.
Yep. So you can see Adam's backing out of the stretch. Driving this forward if you have some patellar tendon issues can cause a little bit more discomfort, but we can work on that later. For now, you back the shin more vertical. The more vertical you go, the less pressure we're going to have through here.